Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, April 16th, 2009. Still have a lot of wind swell along the coast. It is starting to fade, sizes dropping off from that. Conditions will start to improve. Still have some wind problems to deal with. Wanted to show you how the models are dealing with that, and also high pressure that's going to be moving in. Looks like we're going to see some warmer temps move in over the weekend and somewhat of an offshore flow. Got also something that's been forming down in the southern hemisphere. Looks like we're finally going to see some more southern hemisphere swell come our way. Be around the 23rd, 24th time frame. Looks like we're going to see a lull in activity before then, but wanted to show you what's happening on the models with that as well. This is what's going on right now. So I wanted to start off talking about the weather models. This shows why we're seeing that wind. We've got a low pressure system that's still now just passing to the east of Southern California, butted up against our area. The backside spin of that low up in the northern hemisphere spinning counterclockwise, still bringing in some northerly winds today. That will be moving off to the east. High pressure right behind it. You can see that in blue on this relative vorticity model starting to push into the area. We start spinning those models in forward in time. We start seeing that low is going to be moving more toward the east. That's going to be good. See high pressure starting to move into the area, but not really encompassing the area all that much over the next few days. This is looking out at the Friday time frame as that high pressure starts to build in. Low pressure moves out more toward the east. That'll start calming winds then starting on Friday, especially warming temperatures into Saturday then. And then if we start looking at the longer range models, we can see that around Saturday time frame, that high pressure ridge would start extending more toward the north, really encompassing more of the west. And this is looking at Sunday's time frame. We can see that high pressure would extend almost well up to the Canadian region. So we'd be under some very clear skies, warmer temps, and of course more of an offshore flow. So as those winds die down into the weekend, that also means that the wind swell is going to continue backing off. There really hasn't been any activity in the northern hemisphere to bring any northwest swells our way. There hasn't been a whole lot of activity in the southern hemisphere. A little bit of stuff coming through Sunday, but still going to be pretty small overall throughout the weekend. But then it looks like we're going to start seeing some southern hemisphere swell come up around the 23rd into the 24th, and that's going to come in from a system I've been keeping an eye on. I wanted to show you what's happening with that as well. As you may recall from my last swell scan report that I issued last week, there's been some activity down in the Southern Ocean. This is a look at the blast in the past here, looking back at the long-range models last week, showing what was forming a fetch down in the Southern Ocean. I was keeping an eye on that because models were really kind of inclining toward the idea that we'd see swell out of that. And sure enough, if we take a look at the models today, this is what's happening right now with this system. It's located south of French Polynesia. It's got 35-plus foot seas to it, and it's starting to move in a more northward trajectory, just as models anticipated it would. In fact, if we start spinning the models, we can see here 12 hours out starting to move a little bit more northward. And when we take a look then 24 hours out, we can see still kind of a northeasterly progression. That's good news. That would start to throw swell towards Southern California. And then 36 hours out, we're taking a look at 36-foot seas, 4,300 nautical miles away from Southern California. And that's not really all that great of a distance for us to get some decent ground swell out of this. So it looks like that'll start filling in on the 23rd into the 24th. If we take a look at the Northern Hemisphere period models, we can start seeing how this would look at around the 22nd, 23rd time frame. We're taking a look at some 20-second periods being the forerunners. Of course, the darker red colors here on this period model, that's the longer the period. We can start seeing that there would be 18-second periods behind it, and of course then the shorter periods, but the shorter periods don't necessarily mean smaller size, as there would be a lot of energy coming up with this system. So we start spinning the models out forward in time, we can start seeing that this would start filling in probably some of those forerunners hitting us on the afternoon of the 22nd into the 23rd, and then the 23rd starting to fill in more, still maybe sporadic with some of these exceptionally long period energy, the waves coming in, and then we'd start seeing more of that 18-second energy coming in right around on the 24th, and that's when we'd probably see then full impact along the Southern California coast. So we still got a little ways to go on the models. You can see we do have that system forming. It is looking really nice down the southern hemisphere, down below French Polynesia right now. Got to see what happens, though, on its way to the Pitcairn Islands, and if it really does take that northerly trajectory that the 36-hour models say it will, and just how big that fetch will be. If it stays with the way that it looks like right now, looks like we could see some head-high to overhead surf by the 24th of this month, but got to see what happens over the next couple days. If you want to always check out the latest ETAs on the swell, the wind, weather, tide morphs, check out my SoCal Surf Report at wetsand.com.